Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam the Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Reality Break, a space opera looter action RPG by Element Games. Without any further ado, let's dive in. In Reality Break, you'll take on the role of a mercenary that comes across a strange artifact known as a Fate Core, allowing them to manipulate fractures in reality in various ways. Character creation is limited to choosing the name and gender of your character. In my case, I went with a male character and named him Kyle North. The basic controls are similar to a twin-stick shooter. You use the ASDW keys to move and the mouse to aim and fire. In most cases, you'll have a primary weapon that you can use freely and a secondary weapon that uses your energy reserves to activate, though naturally, the latter tend to be more powerful. Primary weapons include things like basic lasers and Gatling guns, as well as ricochet weaponry that will bounce to nearby enemies after the first target. Meanwhile, secondary weaponry includes things like guided missile launchers, a powerful railgun, or a short-range radial Nova Blast. You'll also have access to a repair ability that you can occasionally use, as well as a boost ability. Like weaponry, boosting has a few different variations. Shift and teleport work similarly, the former making you temporarily invincible, and the latter allowing you to simply disappear and reappear instantly. You can also get an afterburner, which can last as long as your energy reserves don't run out. As you go throughout the game, in addition to gathering various parts to upgrade your ship, you'll also find fate pulses that can be used to modify the aforementioned fractures in reality. This allows certain equipment to be upgraded or modified. Sometimes you'll be able to empower effects, and others you can replace entirely. On occasion, you might even come across an item that lets you increase its rarity, which will improve its stats across the board. But this isn't only used to modify items. As the game goes on, you'll be able to use it to increase the difficulty of side quests, which naturally increases your rewards. If you're successful, that is. But before long, you'll come across a point where you're erased from the timeline. This is different from dying, as when you die, you'll simply respawn, and most missions won't even fail at that point. But when you're erased from reality, you must perform a reality break, resetting your progress, but also granting you powerful reality points. These unlock a plethora of permanent bonuses that will remain with you throughout all future runs. And at the end of each loop, you'll also engage an endless and increasingly more powerful swarm of enemies in the void. The longer you survive, the more reality points that you'll get at the end of it all. What's more, you can also use the Fate Core to alter certain dialogue options, allowing you to progress a bit further in the story with each loop. The further you progress, the more reality points you can earn. There's also a couple features that I unlocked that I didn't really get much into. There is a crafting mechanic in the game. You can break down an item to get a random stat from said item. Then, you can craft it with others to make a new item. But because it's a random stat, I usually got something that wasn't really useful. In the end, I never actually ended up using the crafting system. The other thing is the Aptitudes, which basically is a class system. To unlock these, you have to beat certain missions at difficulty 15 or higher. Which is fine in concept, but by the time I had done such, I was on the final loop of the story anyways. Still, it was fun to unlock extra drone slots with the Commander Aptitude. On to presentation, the game looks good, though it can get fairly cluttered at times. There's a decent variety of enemies and environments, ranging from asteroid fields to massive space stations to planetary surfaces. The story is fairly light, which isn't a problem in and of itself. Looter RPG genre as a whole doesn't really lend well to in-depth stories to begin with. However, it does feel like the story ends without a real conclusion. Feels like it's setting up for a big, epic final battle, but then it just stops before you ever get to it. This is easily my biggest complaint about the game, as even if the story isn't a major driving factor, it still makes the game feel unfinished, even though gameplay-wise, it is a complete experience. All in all, Reality Break is a fun and intriguing title. I will say that I disagree with marking it as a roguelike. While the reality point system feels like it's definitely inspired by roguelites, death is typically a minor setback rather than a forced restart. That being said, as a looter RPG, it's a fresh take on a familiar genre, feeling almost like a blend of Titan Quest and Ring Runner, the latter of which I really should review one of these days. If you can get past the genre mismatch and the lack of a proper ending to the story, there's plenty here to enjoy. And it should be noted that the dev has been hard at work since the release of version 1 to squash any bugs they can find. In conclusion, I find Reality Break to be worth a solid 7.7 out of 10. Reality Break is currently available for PC via Steam. If you're interested in purchasing or learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Reality Break? What looter RPGs do you enjoy? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. If you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.